How big is Google actually? It's safe to say the whole planet knows what Google is, the search engine being the #1 used site in the world with billions of daily searches and visits. One could say Google is one big company, but a lot of people don't really know just how big Google actually is and how some of our most used platforms are owned and run by Google. In today's video, we'll be taking a deep dive into this giant tech company in order to understand it even better. Google is undoubtedly one of the biggest companies in the world, and it's certainly the biggest and most popular search engine on the internet. But its humble beginnings can be traced as far back as 1996, when its founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin were still PhD students at Stanford University. Larry Page studied the links and interactions between pages and sites of the internet to be used as a dissertation project in his PhD program. Together, Page and Brin, alongside Scott Hassan, began developing the codes and algorithm for what was then known as Backrub. The program received fundings from a few notable science grants, but also from a program run by the CIA and NSA, as well as military and defense contractors. It was officially launched as Google in 1998, using the Stanford University website before getting its own domain, google.com, later that same year. The company grew from mainstream internet and became a household name as the term "to Google" became a trademark name, cementing its place as the #1 search engine in the world. By 2005, Google was valued at over $50 million, placing it at the top of the most valued companies in the world. Since then, Google has kept growing to the #1 search engine in the world, taking over 90% of the market share, leaving the remaining 10% to search engines like Baidu, Bing, Yahoo, and others. The success of the tech giant is not only thanks to its search engine. Since its foundation, multiple other companies have been founded or bought by Google. Let's take a look at some companies and services you might not have known were owned by Google today. YouTube. YouTube is the world's most popular video viewing site, with over 10 billion views daily and still rising. The site offers many cool features, one of which includes signing in with your Google account at the tap of a button. But many people might not know that Google actually owns YouTube. That's right, your #1 video viewing platform is actually a subsidiary of Google. But it wasn't originally created by Google. It was actually created by 3 former PayPal employees, Steve Chen, Jawed Karim, and Chad Hurley, in February of 2005. The 3 men thought it would be a good idea for people to have a platform where they could share their homemade videos and enjoy viewing others as well. The idea gave birth to YouTube, which became the giant you know today. Only a few months after its launch, YouTube was attracting hundreds of thousands of visitors daily, and that number soon increased into the millions before the year was out. But with the increasing number of videos and views, the managing costs also increased, and those costs were only going to get higher with the site's increasing popularity. The founders of YouTube had a lot of trouble monetizing the platform, even with all the traffic it was generating, as a lot of videos posted on the site had copyright infringement, which led to increasing lawsuits filed against YouTube. Knowing Google's own video viewing site was struggling to grow, it was the perfect opportunity to buy the company, and so they did. Google bought YouTube for $1.65 billion, which was significant for a company less than 2 years old. Today, YouTube is worth $500 billion, so the risk they took was clearly a good idea. Android. Android is another Google-born program that further stretches Google's reach far beyond its search engines. As we all know, Android is an open-source, free software that runs mobile devices using predominantly Google mobile services. The program in itself has gained widespread popularity since its launch in 2007 with the HTC Dream Android device. Android was originally designed to be used by digital cameras but was diverted to mobile devices after the founder, Andy Rubin, realized it had tremendous potential in developing smarter mobile devices that are more aware of its owner's location and preferences. The Android OS almost didn't make it to market as it lacked investors at the start. So much so that the startup faced eviction in 2005 from its office building located in Palo Alto, California. The company would have gone bankrupt after buyout deals with Samsung and HTC failed until it reached a deal with Google. Under the Google umbrella, Android OS was developed to rival prominent operating systems like Windows, Mobile, and Symbian. At the time, Symbian OS was the major controller of the mobile market, used by phones such as Nokia, Sony Ericsson, Motorola, and even Samsung. It even had a huge chunk of the Asian mobile phone market with companies like Mitsubishi and Sharp. But with Android under Google, the pair moved to dominate the mobile phone market, with its only major rival being the iOS by Apple. The Android trademark has since been used in various smartphones and touchscreen devices, making up over 70% of the non-iPhone market. Its incorporation of Google trademarked applications and services includes Google Play Store and Services, the Chrome browser, Google Assistant, and other Google-sponsored services. Today, Google makes over $30 billion in annual revenue from Android devices and is still expanding with constant updates and bug fixes. With its growing success, Google restructured back in 2015 to create its holding company, Alphabet Inc. Alphabet became the parent company, with Google still making up its largest subsidiary. But the newly formed parent company has gone on to branch out by acquiring smaller tech companies to further expand its reach. While these newly acquired companies all look promising with valuations in the billions, the main aim behind the acquisitions is to snuff out competition in the marketplace. Alphabet Inc. acquired tech and software companies in the same market space as its other subsidiaries to merge innovation and reduce competition. Since its birth in 2015, Alphabet has become one of the largest conglomerates in the world, surpassing other industry veterans to realize a market cap of over $1.4 trillion as of 2021. In 2020 alone, the company boasted a $183 billion net revenue, placing it in the top 5 highest-earning companies in the world. Alphabet was able to generate this revenue by its ad sales on Google and other subsidiary company platforms as well. Alphabet's advertising is able to generate that much revenue due to its unique algorithm, which allows brands and companies to connect directly with the vast users of Alphabet's subsidiary companies. Google on its own generates much of Alphabet's income through hardware sales, app sales, licensing, and service fees, as well as in-app purchases. These ad sales have made up a big part of Google's market strategy and influenced its acquisition of smaller startups with potential in ad sales. The company also looks to acquire small tech startups to build its business assets as well as to incorporate innovative ideas into its already existing line of products and companies. Some of these companies acquired by Google under Alphabet Inc. include DoubleClick. The ad management service company was founded in 1996, becoming one of the prominent online advertising firms in the stock market in the 90s. It was later acquired by Hellman & Friedman, a private equity firm, for $1.1 billion in 2005. The company, along with its services, was then purchased by Google for a whopping $3.1 billion in 2008 as part of a move to improve the ad personalizing capabilities of its users and its analytical services. The original name was scrapped and replaced with what is now known as Google Ads. Waze. Waze was a mobile navigation device and traffic advisory service founded in Israel in 2008. Google acquired the company in 2013 for $966 million in a bid to integrate the service into its Google Maps program. Waze traffic updating system was unparalleled at the time, giving real-time updates on traffic conditions to users, which also prompted the acquisition by Google to eliminate the competition. Google's move to acquire the company was to improve the Google Maps algorithm and commercialize it by selling ads to businesses and drivers. Fitbit Inc. Founded by tech entrepreneurs Eric Friedman and James Park in 2007, Fitbit was created to utilize wireless technologies on wearable products to improve its users' overall fitness and health. Fitbit's line of wearable products include armbands fitted with fitness trackers, smartwatches, and also fitness tracking mobile applications along with other fitness gears and services. Google acquired Fitbit in a bid to increase its lineup of wearable devices and fitness services, in addition to already owning Timex smartwatch technologies, which it acquired in 2019. The deal to acquire Fitbit almost didn't go through, with the European Union and the US Department of Justice cracking down on Google's user data privacy usage. The acquisition only went through after Google made commitments to not use user data for ad targeting and sales. The acquisition, which cost Google $2.1 billion, finally went through in January of 2021, cementing Google's place in the fitness product market. Nest was founded by two former Apple employees, Matt Rogers and Tony Fadell, in 2010, after leaving the iPhone development division to start their own company. The pair started Nest to improve the thermostat, making it sensor control capable of learning and adjusting accordingly and Wi-Fi enabled. Google's ever-expanding strategy acquired Nest Labs for $3.2 billion in 2014, adding it to Google's existing division of home products. The merge became Google Nest, a division of Google offering a range of smart home appliances from alarms to security cameras and Wi-Fi routers, all connected to Google servers. Google's dominance in the online space is rivaled only by its dominance in the tech industry, with a wide range of companies acquired to broaden its range and further increase its market cap. But Google's reach has put it on the wrong side of the US Department of Justice. The DOJ has filed an antitrust lawsuit against Google, stating it has been exerting an overreaching monopoly over the tech and advertising markets. The lawsuit targets the vast number of acquisitions and buyouts Google has facilitated in the past decade and aims to put a stop to it. The lawsuit is yet to have its day in court, and we can't wait to see the outcome. But who knows? Google just might acquire the DOJ altogether for good measure. So remember, if you can't beat it, buy it. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and activate notifications for more inspiring videos. Cheers!